Here's something almost every roulette player believes, and it's wrong. They think the game is basically 50-50, red or black, coin flip, beat the house or lose to bad luck. That belief is exactly what casinos are counting on, because roulette isn't close to 50-50, and the tiny gap between what you think your odds are and what they actually are is one of the most quietly brilliant business models ever built. By the end of this video, you'll never look at that little green pocket the same way again. Let's start with the wheel itself. A standard American roulette wheel has 38 pockets. The numbers 1 through 36, plus a 0, plus a double 0. Bet on red, and 18 of those pockets pay you. Bet on black, another 18. That leaves 2 pockets, 0 and double 0, colored green, that pay out to nobody but the house. 2 out of 38. That's it. That's the entire scheme. It sounds too small to matter. It isn't. Here's why. Every single payout on the table is calculated as if the wheel only had 36 numbers. A straight-up bet on one number pays 35-1. If the wheel genuinely had 36 pockets, that payout would be fair. Break-even math. Bet $1 on each of the 36 numbers, win once, get your $36 back. No profit, no loss. But the wheel doesn't have 36 pockets. It has 38. The casino quietly added 2 more ways for you to lose and never adjusted what it pays you when you win. That gap between the odds you're actually facing and the odds the payout pretends exist is called the house edge. And on an American wheel, it works out to 5.26% on literally every bet on the table, whether you're betting on red, on a single number, or anywhere in between. Now, 5% doesn't sound like much. That's the whole trick. It's not supposed to sound like much. It's supposed to be small enough that you barely notice it, and large enough that, spin after spin, hour after hour, it never fails to show up. Put $10 on red. Statistically, you're not going to lose 10 cents. You're going to win $10 or lose $10 in full right now, this spin. But run that same bet 1,000 times and the math stops being abstract. On average, you walk away having lost about $526 of every 10,000 you wagered. Not because you're unlucky, because the game was built, pocket by pocket, to take it from you. And Europe's version isn't much kinder, just quieter about it. Take away the double 0, leave just 1 green pocket, and the house edge drops to 2.7%. Still built entirely on that same principle. 2 more numbers to lose 2 than the payout accounts for, just 1 instead of 2. Add a rule called la partage, where a losing even money bet on 0 only costs you half, and the edge on those specific bets falls to 1.3, 5%, one of the best numbers you'll find anywhere on a casino floor. But notice what never happens. The edge never hits 0. There is no version of roulette anywhere in the world where the house doesn't quietly keep the green pockets for itself. Here's the part that should really bother you. The house doesn't need to win most of the time. It just needs a tiny structural advantage and a lot of spins. This is the same math behind insurance companies, casinos, and honestly, index funds. Small edge, repeated relentlessly, becomes an overwhelming certainty. Flip a coin once, and anything can happen. Flip it 1,000,000 times, and the law of large numbers takes over completely. The outcome converges on exactly what probability predicts. Casinos aren't gambling. You are. The house is running a business with a guaranteed, mathematically locked-in margin, dressed up to look like a game of chance. This is also why every betting system you've ever heard of, doubling your bet after a loss, chasing red after 10 blacks in a row, is a myth dressed up as a strategy. The wheel has no memory. 10 blacks in a row doesn't make red. More likely, on the 11th spin, it's still 18 out of 38, exactly the same as it was on spin 1. Systems like the martingale don't erase the house edge. They just rearrange when you feel the pain, usually trading a bunch of small wins for one catastrophic loss when the table limit or your wallet runs out before your luck turns around. The house edge sits underneath every single one of these strategies, completely unmoved, quietly collecting its cut no matter how clever you think you're being. There's a story from 1873 that shows just how seriously casinos take protecting that edge. An English mill owner named Joseph Jagger suspected something almost nobody else had considered, that roulette wheels, being physical mechanical objects, might not actually be perfectly balanced. So he hired 6 clerks, sent them to the Beaux-Arts Casino in Monte Carlo, and had each one silently record every single number that came up on 6 different wheels. After days of data, 5 wheels looked random, 1 didn't. 9 numbers on that 6th wheel were landing far more often than probability said they should. Jagger walked in and bet accordingly, and won the modern equivalent of several $1,000,000 in just a few days. The casino, panicking, quietly rearranged the wheels overnight to throw him off. He found his wheel anyway, by a scratch mark he'd memorized. So the casino did something more permanent. They had the dividers between the numbers physically rebuilt every night, erasing the mechanical bias for good. Jagger's advantage vanished. He took his winnings and went home. The lesson wasn't just that one clever man beat one flawed wheel. It's that the moment a real edge threatens the house's edge, the house rebuilds the entire table rather than let it slide. That's ultimately what the green pocket represents. It's not decoration. It's not a design quirk. It's the mechanism engineered directly into the geometry of the wheel that guarantees the casino profits no matter what you bet on, no matter how you bet it, no matter how the spins happen to fall on any given night. You can win. Plenty of people do, every single day. What you can't do is outplay the structure itself, because the structure isn't reacting to your choices. It was finished before you ever sat down. The house doesn't need good luck. It just needs you to keep spinning. And that's really the brutal part of the math. It was never about outsmarting the house. It was never really a 50-50 game at all. It was two extra green pockets, quietly doing exactly what they were built to do.